Suprabhatam friends, welcome to my channel Plants and Me. This is Dr. Sri Devi from Mangaluru, Karnataka, India. I had ordered 3 Aeschynanthes, that is epiphytic plants, and 1 fish flower plant, that is Nematanthus. Today I am going to repot them. Now these Aeschynanthes, they are epiphytes, so I would be repotting them in coconut chunks. So I have these 3 plants, epiphytes, which need to be repotted. They have just reached yesterday. This is orange lipstick plant. It is botanically Aeschynanthus. This is another lipstick plant. Actually, it is called as lipstick plant, but it is the codant plant, which it has got white flowers. And I have this another variety of lipstick plant wherein the leaves are very much twisted, as you can see. This is the twisted. Here it is, very nicely seen. The leaves are very much twisted lipstick plant. Flowers are red only. So these lipstick plants or Aeschynanthus or that codant, all 3 of them are epiphytes. Because all of them have similar flowers, I want to use these white pots. Already something is there inside in it. It was, in fact. Some plant was there, it couldn't take up the Mangalore rains. This is the variegated Ficus compacta. Ficus. This is also another white pot. I will be cleaning all these pots. So this also had some plant, but didn't survive. Now I will be using these pots and to some extent the same mud, but I will have to modify it. So this is coco peat. That is why the plant couldn't survive. I don't need this coco peat. I'll remove the hanger so that the pot becomes free. Yeah, there is a stand at the base, so this will give draining space, but it had come in coco peat. I also didn't observe. See, this plant has survived in this soggy coco peat, but this one has gone. This was the plant. It was Ficus pumila variegated. Gone. It's completely dry. I'm sorry, I'll have to let you go, or I can plant it somewhere else. That plant also I had seen the flowers and was I was bowled over by this tiny flower. It was growing wild in the campus of a college where I was working earlier. Wherever it touches the ground, it roots. So it's very easy to root. It was very easy to root, but it became a nuisance sort of, because the seeds, I don't know if there are seeds. Yes, these are the capsules, fruit, and inside there will be seeds. Once this becomes dry, these seeds or fruits, capsules, they split open, and the dispersal of the seeds is wide and far, and all over my garden now these plants have developed. I have kept one or two plants, but other plants I don't plan to keep because I don't need so many plants. So this was the Ficus pumila variegated, which is gone, and this is the reason for my Ficus pumila to die. Papa. Cocoa peat has rotted completely. I will be throwing this. Look at the base, how much water is there. This is one pot. I'll wash that. Next one, the ficus. This type of rim for the pots is very difficult to put the hanger and remove the hanger. Oh, this also is in cocoa peat. Oh my god. I never observed. Look at the water. Luckily this has sustained. I'll remove. Oh. It is root bound. And this also has got this plate. Okay, that is why even though there was so much water, it was storing the water and not allowing the plant to go into root rot. One more thing is, the drainage holes are here. There are no drainage holes here. That is the funniest part. No drainage holes here. There ought to be drainage holes here. So now I observe even in this pot it's the same case. So I got two pots. Then this third pot. Sometimes while removing this hanger, this part breaks. I'll remove this mud. I don't know which plant was there. The root has gone into the hole here, drainage hole, but this pot also doesn't have any drainage holes here. This is mud, but very sticky type of mud. I'll go into the house, wash these pots and get back. The municipal tap is not yet coming, water is not coming, so I'll have to go inside and wash and come. So they are almost very neat and clean, but as I was washing, I realized something about these plates. If we keep this plate inside, I have not yet drained the holes, only my bottle fell. So only these holes are there. So when I fill, or suppose there is a plant, and when I water the plant, the water will get filled up to that level, and whatever excess is there, that will get drained through these holes. That is fine, through these holes, but the remainder water will be here. So we don't need to water the plant often. That is the idea. And very less wastage of water will be there. Actually, it's a very good plan of pot, but for Mangalore weather it doesn't work. Mangalore rains also it doesn't work. So very little water is coming out. Otherwise, when we water a plant, the water comes out or it gushes out. So this pot is having that use with that stand. Now I'll drain holes in this at the bottom and come. I'm not going to use that stand, and even if I use it, I'll drain holes so that the water doesn't stay in the pot. So I have drained holes in this also. I have drained holes. I have only 2 plates of those black. I have only 2 plates, so I'll keep that plate, but holes are there. That is just to improve the drainage. So this also will improve the drainage. Where is the other one? So these pots are ready. I will now prepare the potting mix. I am using the same potting mix which was there in that pot. This is the root system. Okay, I forgot to tell that I would be first repotting this ficus. That is why this mud, because Aeschynanthes is epiphytic. I don't need mud, isn't it? I am using a very well draining type of potting mix. I am using this pot very shallow, so drainage will be better. Ficus requires a almost dry type of soil. It doesn't like too much water, so that is why I am preparing this sandy type of mix. And for my place weather, especially the rainy season, this sandy mix is very important and very good for the plants. I need to remove this, so I need some container. I couldn't get a container, so I will loosen the roots, expose the roots. This is all coco peat which has become too moist. It is very soggy. This coco peat is actually of no use. It can't be used in any other plant because it is already started rotting. So only use is when we are sowing seeds in mud. The top layer can be filled with this coco peat, and in this coco peat we can sow the seeds. It will hold on moisture, so the seeds will germinate very fast. This is so difficult, it's not coming only. So I am pressure spraying this roots to get rid of the coco peat. This root is healthy, these are healthy. Some of them are healthy, but some of them have rotted. I am surprised how this plant has been alive. It has tolerated so much water. That's really great. Almost all the coco peat has come out. Even little bit of coco peat will cause problem to plants in my place. I am putting the potting mix. At the base there are pebbles. Those will help in easy drainage. The roots have come out clean now. So all the roots are covered with the soil. So that's it for this plant. Now I will repot those Aeschynanthes. Ficus is a hardy plant, so it will come out of the shock very easily. I'll put the hanger also, otherwise I forget. Sometimes I get lazy. I'll keep the plant. It will be staying there for months together without hanger. So better now than never, isn't it? So this plant is done. So I'm using a mixture of coconut chunks, charcoal, and this is pumice stone powder. This won't get mixed that well, but okay. So I take the first pot and just take a chunk like this and put it there, because they won't get mixed. So this is the only way I can put the mixture. Where are the plants? So this is the twisted lipstick plant. Cocoa peat. Root system is okayish. It will have to develop new root system because of the cocoa peat. The roots had already started rotting. So this is one plant. I'll do this for the other two plants also. Instead of charcoal we can also use clay balls. So this is done. I'll water it. already water has started coming out immediately because it is that well draining potting mix. So these plants will not have problem even in the rainy season. My whole concern will be of rainy season because rains in my place, Mangalore, they are heavy rains, very heavy rains, and the plants suffer a lot. So I have nicely watered them, given a deep watering. Now I'll keep this in shade. So along with these Aeschynanthes, I had ordered this fish plant, fish flower plant. The shape of the flower looks like fish, Nematanthus. But this is a succulent. The leaves are very thick and fleshy. So I have put it in a succulent type of potting mix. Very sandy. So that's all about today's repotting. So the goldfish plant, it has been put in this small pot right now. Once it grows nicely, settles down, I will repot it. And these are the 3 white pots which I used for Aeschynanthes. I am planning to buy one more white pot like this, and there is one more Aeschynanthes, no, 2 more, pink and red colored. I am going to take cuttings of those plants and plant them in hanging baskets like this. So Aeschynanthes, as I said, they are epiphytic. That's why I have put them in coconut chunks. They grow on tree barks. So they are covered with leaves of the tree. So they will be getting filtered light. Hence, I also would be keeping them in a place where they get filtered light. That means they will not be kept in direct sun. So sunlight will be filtered sun, about 50%, but they require sunlight for blooming. So I'll have to choose. Right now they'll be kept in shade because they have to settle down. I have disturbed their roots. Once they settle down and start giving out new branches, I will shift them to a place where they get partial sunlight or filtered sunlight. Sometimes we can also choose a place where they get morning sun from about 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and after that, by afternoon, there is one place in my house where from 8 to 10 they get direct sun, that is morning tender sun. Then after that they get bright indirect light. So I'll have to choose a place again for these plants. That is about the sunlight. Water requirement, they require just moist potting mix. The potting mix should not dry, the potting mix should not be soggy. It can dry out, they can tolerate that, but it should not be soggy. Now in this potting mix I have used charcoal. So charcoal will absorb excess moisture and it also works as antifungal. So there are 2 uses of the charcoal. So consistently moist soil is the key for these Aeschynanthes. The potting media can dry out, but it should not be soggy. That is about the water requirement. Nutrition, we can add vermicompost, cow dung manure into the potting mix. There is always a fear of water retention in the vermicompost and cow dung, because cow dung and vermicompost especially has got lots of coco peat in it, so it will hold water. So there is a chance of water retention and root rot. So it's better to give it inorganic fertilizers like NPK once in 15 days, 5 grams in 1 liter, that is 1 teaspoon in 1 liter, and then instead of watering we can add that water and then give it a foliar spray also. That's about the nutrition. And once the plant settles down and starts blooming, we can also add bone meal in it, and they also love acidic soil, so we can add Epsom salt to the potting mix. So when they are blooming, we can add phosphorus, and to help blooming we can add Epsom salt. So that is about the nutrition. The sunlight is partial sunlight or filtered sun. Water, consistently moist potting mix. Then nutrition, NPK in the strength of 19-19-19 or 20-20-20 once in 15 days, foliar spray and into the potting mix. So that's about it. And about this Nemathanthus, this is a very heavy bloomer. It has got very beautiful orange flowers. So for nutrition, I have used succulent type of potting mix for this, so water will get drained off. So I'll have to water it almost daily. Once I water it, the potting mix will be wet, so I can water it daily, but it will be better to check the potting mix for moisture and then water. It is a succulent, so it should be treated as a succulent, and whatever we do for succulent, same thing applies here. We can also water it once in 3 days, because sand is there, water will get drained out, but I have also put little garden soil, so that will retain moisture. So depending on the moisture retention, we need to water it. It can dry out completely. We can water it once in 3 days. It will be in partial shade, so it will not, the potting mix will not dry out completely within 3 or 4 days. So that's why I said check the potting mix and then water it. If it is still wet, don't water. If it has dried out, the water has drained out and the garden soil is dry, then water it. That is about the water. And nutrition, it can be given vermicompost, because there is sand in it. I can add vermicompost or cow dung manure, and when it is blooming, just a pinch or 1 teaspoon, appropriately 1 teaspoon of bone meal into the potting mix away from the stem. But it has to settle down, give out new branches, then I will add all the vermicompost, bone meal, whatever. So that is about the nutrition. Sunlight, it is a part shade plant, so it will be kept here only somewhere, because here till afternoon there is no sun. Post 1 p.m. after 1 p.m. the sun starts coming. This is the west side, so the sun starts shining here, but there are quite a few big trees here, so it will get filtered sunlight. That means part shade. So it's a part shade plant, it's a succulent, so we have to be very careful while watering the plant, and also we have to be careful about the sunlight requirement. There is one more place on the staircase landing, there also it can be kept, because there also the sunlight does not fall till 1 p.m. There is shade, and after about 2 o'clock there is complete shade there, so it's a part shade type of area. So there also it can be kept. So where the plant does not get sunlight the whole day, that place this plant has to be kept. It should get sunlight, tender morning sun or tender evening sun. It has to bloom, so for that sunlight is very important. So for blooming sunlight is required, but not the harsh afternoon sun. So that's about it, about the 3 plants. Out of this, one is twisted Aeschynanthes, twisted lipstick plant. One is orange lipstick plant, that means the flowers are orange. The twisted lipstick plant has got red flowers, and the other one was Codanthe is the genus name. It has got white flowers, they look like lipstick plant. It's not a lipstick plant, it's not Aeschynanthes. So that was about these epiphytic Aeschynanthes. So I repotted this gasteria. It has got very thick leaves. Again it came out. Till it brings out roots, it's very difficult to look after this plant. So gasteria is a succulent, so I need to be careful with watering. Today I have watered it. I will not water it till the medium becomes completely dry. It's a very thick succulent, so it requires very less water because the leaves will be storing water. So the medium should get completely dry. We can water it once in 1 week. That is about the watering schedule. Nutrition, it is hardly interested in eating. It doesn't eat. It doesn't like nutrition. In fact, we should not add any nutrition because these do not like to be fertilized. If at all we want to fertilize, we can just put a hint of inorganic NPK or something. That's it. They do not like to be fertilized. Opuntia, almost all the succulents, they do not like to be fertilized because already they have got so much stored in their leaves, so they do not like to be fertilized. Then sunlight, part sun. It is kept in my car porch in the front of my house. There it gets morning sun, and after that it gets only bright indirect light. So that is about the sunlight. I can keep here also, but I have not yet decided about the place for these succulents. So that's about it. Gasteria got repotted. My cats, oh my god, they are so naughty. They have pulled it out from one pot and it was lying on the table where I have kept all my cactus and succulent. Luckily I saw it before it died. It has got still more life in it. Anyway, so that's about gasteria. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye. Alongside this gasteria, I also repotted rain lily. It was a gift from one of my friends. We met on Facebook and she sent this rain